Hi everybody, this is Agnes from Sediment, and today let's discuss 5 important factors you should consider when evaluating wine's investment potential. It is interesting that while more affordable everyday wine categories are struggling, sales of the most expensive, luxurious and rarest wines are thriving, meaning that with each passing year they are traded and bought more and more. Maybe many of us, myself included, have chosen to enjoy wines less often, but when we do, it will be a really nice bottle. Or perhaps it is because wine has proven to be an excellent investment. While as of making this video, the fine wine market has experienced a decline over the past year, in the long term, wine can potentially provide a return of investment between 8 to 15% depending on the source. Certain wines have potential to achieve even higher returns. Furthermore, the number of the bottles, especially old and rare vintages, ultimately reduces with time. They are either popped open and enjoyed, forgotten in cellars, or accidentally broken. Things happen. Consequently, this scarcity drives up the prices, potentially making great profit for the owner who later sells the bottle. I have talked many times on this channel about wines that can age, and sometimes I have discussed wines that increase in price. However, since I never buy wine for profit, I think I have almost never touched upon investment-grade wines and what factors to consider when evaluating wine's investment potential. But before we start, a small disclaimer my lawyer requested me to say. Nothing in this video constitutes a financial advice. Always seek the guidance of a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. We cannot start with anything else. Quality is the key for any investment-grade wine. And quality means not only that over many vintages, numerous wine experts and industry professionals will almost anonymously agree that the wine constantly delivers the highest quality. The quality also means that wine consumers and buyers will also be able to appreciate it and be willing to pay premium for the product. While I myself don't always believe that quality wine must have an aging potential, after all, there are many beautiful and exceptional wines not meant for long cellaring. However, in case of investment-grade wine, cellaring potential becomes extremely important. You will see that as we discuss other elements important for wine to be investment-worthy, it all ultimately comes back to its quality. And as promised, we are back to quality. In this case, the quality of the vintage. There are winemaking regions where weather can be quite unpredictable year after year, significantly affecting the final quality of the wine as well as its aging potential. Think of Champagne, Burgundy and Bordeaux, for example. Well, one might assume that Champagne is somewhat safe because winemakers might not declare a vintage if they don't believe the fruit meets the expected quality. I still recommend examining each vintage before investing. This is because a specific vintage could have a more immediate appeal to it and be a great bargain for early consumption, yet not the best option for long aging. I want to add a small note though, not all vintages deemed bad necessarily make poor wine. Sometimes it can be a smart strategy to purchase a wine for a much better price point than the great vintages, therefore potentially providing better returns in the future. Choosing the right producer or brand is crucial when seeking investment-worthy wine. First of all, a trustworthy company or a winemaker known for consistently delivering the highest possible quality year after year will be more interesting in the investment market than a lesser-known rising star. For me, this is especially important if we are going back to the vintage quality, more specifically, bad vintages. Because of the experience as well as the image associated with the brand, these established estates not only have the know-how, but are also willing to sacrifice volume to ensure the delivery of the highest standards in those poor vintages. Or, in some cases, make the very difficult decision to produce no wine at all. Moreover, if we are talking about the luxury estates such as Chateau Latour or Mouton Rothschild, investments are made in the latest technologies and the best teams, providing them with all the resources needed to ensure that quality standards associated with their brand are met. While some criticize the 1855 Medoc classification as dated, and there are some valid arguments for this, yet I also believe that the top estates also have an obligation to deliver the highest quality because they are considered the benchmark. While I do believe that with certain wines, regions, and markets, the significance of wine ratings and scores is slightly reducing, it still remains very important when it comes to investment-grade wine. Ultimately, thus circling back to the starting point, which is wine must be of the highest quality. First of all, critics' scores give an overall easy to understand and somewhat unified system for us to see which wines are considered or in fact are better. Probably one of the most popular wine rating systems is the 100-point scale developed by Robert Parker. Not only will high marks increase the demand for the wine, but perfect score will give forever fame to the wines. Just look at the Gigal and their Lala wines or Harlan Estate. But maybe even more important and definitely highly anticipated are the scores and ratings of the Bordeaux en primeur. Critics and journalists are tasting barrel samples, wines that are not even bottled yet, and determine their quality. Not only will their reports impact the prices at which wines are released, but they will also increase or decrease the desirability of the wine in the market. Jancis Robinson and Wine Advocate come to my mind as some of the most influential wine critics, but so do Jane Anson, James Suckling, and publications such as Wine Spectator and Decanter. The wine or the label must hold value in the secondary market. Without this, no matter the wine's quality, brand reputation, or received scores, if it fails to catch buyers' interest, it does not qualify as an investment-grade wine. One way to make sure that the wine will appreciate in value and be interesting in the secondary market is the scarcity or rarity of the bottle. Certainly, the aforementioned Harlan Estate, as well as Pierre-Yves Colin-Moret and Domaine Romanée-Conti, come to my mind as great examples where prices in the secondary market greatly exceed those at which the winery released them. However, this is not always the case. There are many limited production wines of good quality with great aging potential, and yet they fail to spark interest in the secondary market. Furthermore, one of the most important categories in the wine investment world is the Bordeaux wine region, and even top wines from Bordeaux are produced in relatively large volumes. Therefore, with few exceptions, one can obtain almost any bottle they desire if money is not an issue. Yet, Bordeaux remains a stronghold in the investment wine world. There are, of course, many other factors one must take into consideration when evaluating whether or not wine is investment worthy, such as wine's price history and the trends of the industry. And if all of this feels a little bit too overwhelming, it is completely understandable. But there are many trustworthy companies and private advisors that can help you in this journey. However, for many who love wine, analyzing trends, seeking new rising stars, and tasting wine is the most fun part of the wine collecting. Another factor to consider is how wine has been stored. Make sure to watch my other video on 7 wine storage myths.